Okay, it's out live. Okay, very good. All right, so welcome. Thank you everyone for joining. Sorry for the technical difficulties here, but we're going to be talking about comets, Swan and Lemmon, and we've got very exciting news. We've got the new Seestar S50 telescope set up in Big Bend region of West Texas, and I'm going to now, let's see here, get you looking at my screen and you will be able to see what I see here. Let's share the screen. Let's go here, entire window. And we're going to go right there. You're going to get the infinite screen there. That's all right. Then we're going to go to the Seestar. And now we are looking at my Seestar telescope in Texas there, and not at Starfront. This is a new install in the Big Bend region of far west Texas. A Seestar S50 mounted there and ready to go, ready to image. And we'll be looking at the two comets tonight live here with you. I'm so glad that I'm able to do this with you and share this experience. A lot of people go outside and they say, I can't see it. I don't know where it is. I don't know where to look. Well, tonight, hopefully I'll make it very easy for you. Just you'll have to look at your monitor, your iPhone, or your tablet and be able to see this tonight. So it's going to be very, very clear and very interesting. Let's see here. We've got very good 8 people. Thank you all for joining. And we have a treat for you tonight. This is the new S50 in the Big Bend region of Texas. This is a picture I took. I was just there back in September, and Charlie and BB, and this is the region that separates the United States from Mexico. I am standing in the Rio Grande. To the right is Mexico, and that canyon rock to the left over here is the United States. And that was an experience I will never forget. Beautiful region. I did not know that West Texas and the Big Bend region was so absolutely stunningly beautiful. So much to see there. Canyons and rivers and mountains. Just mind-blowing. But getting back to the telescope. Okay, there's a telescope, and we're going to look at a webcam of the actual telescope. Here is the telescope. This is the second telescope we've got mounted in West Texas at a unique location in the Big Bend region of West Texas. It's very dark in this area of West Texas. In fact, it's one of the darkest regions in North America. It's actually in an internationally recognized dark sky reserve area where this telescope is. And tonight, we're going to take some incredible images of these two comets. Just waiting for it to get a little tiny bit darker right now. It's about 5 minutes. We'll be able to open up the telescope and take a look at the night sky. But yes, we've got this mounted. I have full remote access of this telescope. It's a wonderful thing because here in Miami, as you know, if those of you that are in Miami tonight, it's cloudy outside. You go outside, it's cloudy. It's been raining. It's been cloudy for the last 3 or 4 nights. And, you know, it's not good weather. You need clear nights to be able to see things in the night sky. West Texas is very, very clear. And that's why I've chosen to have now the second Seestar that I have remote access to in West Texas. And it's something that is very exciting. You know, there's a lot of things going on with astrophotography and this particular product, the Seestar telescope. I'm going to open this up and we'll take a look at the actual scope moving around here. I'm going to go over here And let's get this out of the way. All right, there's the Seestar. We're going to now open the arm of the Seestar here in a second. Let's see what's there we go. Okay, so look on the right side of the screen. I'm going to open the arm, and you're going to see the telescope kind of waking up. There it is. I'm going to make that bigger. So I'm opening up the arm of the Seestar telescope. As you could see there, there's the aperture of the telescope, and it will be looking at the comets here momentarily. But yeah, just to give you a little background on it, this is the S50 by ZWO, is a manufacturer of this telescope. It's a very compact telescope. It's referred to as a smart telescope. It's a new breed of telescopes. Very easy to run, very affordable, and very powerful. And what I have done with it is I've made it so that it can be used in a remote environment, at a remote observatory. In fact, anywhere in the world, if you could set one of these up and you have an internet connection, you can have access to the night sky. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go and we're going to, let's have it look at, we could find the moon here real quick. I'm going to tell it to go to the moon. Just about a little over 30 degrees in height right now. I'm going to tell it to go to. So you'll see on the right side of the screen, the Seestar will now open up and will begin to look for the moon in the night sky. I don't know if you could see it, but the moon is right there. That little white smudge is the moon, and the sun is setting to the right there. Right now, the telescope is starting to turn around and look at the moon. I'm going to refocus the peer camera on the telescope, and bam. Right now, it's doing some fine calibrations, and it's pointing at the moon. So that little white smudge that you see right there, that is actually the moon. This is a telescope that is in West Texas, in the Big Bend region of West Texas, over, I don't know, something like 1,200 miles away from Miami, Florida, where I am. And I'm able to control this telescope remotely and point it at anything in the night sky, which is pretty remarkable. And we're going to be looking at that comet. We're just waiting for the sun to set a little bit. Texas is 1 hour behind Miami, so it's dark here. It's 8:30 in Miami on the East Coast. At Texas, where this telescope is located, it's 7:30 p.m. But in order to catch this comet, we have to kind of catch it right after the sun sets. The comet is going to be about 25 to 28 degrees above the horizon after the sun sets, which is a little low. It will become lower and lower each passing night as the sun sets. And basically, that will happen over the next week to 10 days. As the sun sets, the comet will be getting closer to the sun because it's going to go around the sun. That's what comets do. They actually travel through our solar system, and they go around the sun, loop around the sun, go to the extreme, and then will loop back at some time. Some comets, depending on their orbit, will take longer than others. This particular Comet Lemmon that we're going to be looking at, the next time that humans will see this comet come around Earth will be over 1,100 years from now. So we won't be here, but people in 1,100 years from now will be able to see the same comet that we're going to see tonight in over 1,100 years. So let's see. Let's go back to the moon here and let's see if this was successful at the moon. And there it is. Yes. Okay. There is the moon right there. That is a live view of the moon. It was successful in finding the moon. So we've got this beautiful view of the moon. It's about 40% tonight. Let me take a look. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hello, Olga. Hello, Delita. Hello, Craig. Hello, Manny. Thank you for joining us. And I'm looking up to see what the illumination on the moon is tonight. We've got the moon at 44% tonight, the 28th of October, 2025. So it's just almost at 50%. Probably tomorrow it'll be at 50%. But I wanted to show you the power of this telescope and what it can do. In the past, traditional telescopes, you have to put them on a tripod, stand outside, polar align it, balance it, and do all these things with it that, quite frankly, turned a lot of people off and does continue to turn a lot of people off into astronomy because it's a little technical, it's a little difficult. The Seestar has come along and gotten rid of all that and made it so easy that you can simply unbox this thing, open it up, put it on its little stand, put it out in your patio, link it with your smartphone, and from the app, tell it, go to the moon, and it automatically will find the moon. Tell it to go to the Orion Nebula. It will automatically find the Orion Nebula. Go to a particular star, say Polaris or Arcturus. It'll go right to that star or anything else that's in the night sky. It's really a truly amazing product, and wanted to show you that. We can zoom in 2 times here to the moon. And now we're looking at a 2 times zoom in of the moon. You could see the craters. You could see a lot of the features. In fact, the best time to look at the moon is actually when it's around this illumination. It's about 44% to 50% is the best time because you get at the contrast of the craters. If you can see some of the shadows in the craters, that allows you to get more perspective on the characters, all the characteristics on the surface of the moon. So let's zoom out there again, and we'll take one last look at the moon here. We'll take another look at the, let's see here, the actual telescope itself. And let's look at the actual, yeah, here we go. Here is the telescope looking at the moon right now. This is a camera that I've got mounted next to the Seestar telescope. This is in West Texas, in the Big Bend region of far West Texas, in a Bortle 1 night sky. Very, very clear. I was out there a little over a month ago. I have never seen the sky so dark ever. I was almost tripping over things. It was so dark. I really didn't want to use my flashlight on my iPhone, but I had to because it was actually kind of dangerous just walking around and things like that. I didn't want to fall over anything, but it's a very dark region. And I said, this is the ideal place to set up a second Seestar. And with the help of my friend Charlie, was able to get a Seestar set up on one of his properties out there in West Texas. And it's an amazing, amazing experience, being out there, but also having this telescope in this area of the United States is very exciting. I'm able to image many things, as I have been at Starfront with the S50 over there. Love Starfront. They've been fantastic. It's been over a year since I've had my S50 over there. I have the first S50 probably the first person to put a $500 telescope at a remote observatory. Here's a second $500 telescope, not at a remote observatory, at a friend's property there, but very exciting nonetheless. And let's see if we can now go over and start to image the this comet. Let me log back into the actual telescope, and here we are. Here's the desktop of the Mac computer in Texas, and we're going to go say goodnight to the moon, and we're going to exit the moon, and then we're going to go over here to stargazing. This is the dashboard of the Seestar telescope to show you how easy this is. We've got stargazing, solar system, and scenery. Stargazing, we click here, and it tells us here tonight's best targets. Among the thousands upon thousands of things we can look at, it's telling us, okay, M42, M1, the Pleiades star cluster will be visible, and we can image that with a telescope simply by touching the target and telling it to go to that target. But tonight we want to look at the comet, because that's what we're here to talk about. And I'm going to start. Well, we go down here to this area, and we can select comet. Now here's a list of comets that are in the night sky. Some of them are very, very dim. I've tried to look at some of these other comets. They're so dim, you can't even see them with a Seestar. It takes a much more powerful telescope to be able to see them. But one that we're going to be looking at is the Swan comet. Let's look at this one here. This one, if I go here, it's at 52 degrees in the west, and actually in the southeast. Right now, the Sky Atlas is telling me it's in the southeast region. It's almost at 60 degrees. It's probably about 57 degrees, 55 degrees. So it's quite high in the night sky and towards the southeast. So right now, I'm going to tell it to go gazing. When I touch this red button, we're going to see the telescope start to move and go there. And it's going to start looking for the Swan comet. So let's see here. Well, it's doing that. Okay. It's finding, so it's actually looking at some stars. It's orientating itself with the stars. It's doing a process called plate solving, where the lens of the telescope will look at stars, and then it will say, okay, I know that star and this star, and I know the distances between them, and it will orientate itself by the position of the stars that it sees. So right now, oh, we've got a white screen here. Oh, because we're looking at the moon. Let's see here. If we actually still might be kind of bright, but let's see if we can. It's actually getting a little dimmer. And with this plate solving mechanism or system that it uses, it's not a GPS. It's actually overexposed. Let me see here. Let's close the arm. I'm going to close the arm here, and we're going to relaunch it to look at the Swan. So it looks at the stars. It orientates itself. It does not use GPS. A lot of people say, "Oh, that telescope has GPS." No, it does not. It knows where it's located. It knows it's in West Texas right now, but it doesn't know where the stars are by the GPS. It has to do this plate solving mechanism for it to be able to orientate itself. So when it finishes closing the arm, we'll relaunch it for the Swan comet. And thank you for joining us tonight. Let me see. Let me check the feed here. I want to see what we've got. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Manny. Thank you, Olga, for joining us tonight. And All right. So now we were looking at the moon. We're going to go and look at. Actually, let's just go to the star of the show. Let's go over to Comet Lemmon here. So we're going to go into the stargazing section of the dashboard. We're going to go to the comet. I can search for galaxies, nebulas, clusters, the Messier catalog, the planets, and things like that. And it's got a section for comets. We click here. Here's the list of comets that are visible tonight. We're going to go and look at Comet Lemmon C2025 A6. That's this comet. It's 27 degrees above the horizon right now in the west. So here the sky atlas is telling that little dot right there. It's at about a little bit 27 degrees. Not bad. It's pretty high there. So we're going to tell it to go gazing, and it is now turning. Let me see if I can get the actual telescope here. Okay, here's the telescope. I don't know if you could see that. There's the Seestar turning, and it's going to locate where the comet is in the western sky. So it's set. It's, how should I say? It's following the sun right now. So the sun just set in West Texas. It's getting dark. We can see the moon. There's the moon right to the left side there. And it's about to start imaging the comet. So let's see here. There we go. We should see the comet here momentarily. Okay, so the telescope is fixed in on the comet, and let's keep our fingers crossed here. We should start seeing something here soon. I don't know why it's overexposed. Let me see here. Okay, so it's overexposed. I don't know why it's overexposed, but okay, here we go. Okay, it just adjusted. So we've got a tiny little, and there's a satellite that just went by. Tiny little streak. And tell it to restart. That little dot right there, that is the comet, the head of the comet right there. So we're doing 10-second exposures with the Seestar S50. And we should see, oh, why is it overexposed? Let's let it sit there for a second and adjust the exposure. So it's trying to get some pictures here. Let me check with Starfront on my second telescope over at Starfront, and let's take a look there. Let's see if they're open. I'm not sure if they're open. Okay. Let's see if we've got open roofs at Starfront. It's going to be a little windy in central Texas tonight, from what I understand, according to my Astrospheric app. Let's see here. Yes, the roof is open. Okay. So we've got an open roof at Starfront. We've got our first Seestar here. And we are going to go look at the comet with this telescope. We're going to go here to the Lemmon Comet, and we're going to go to right now. So this one, since I wasn't looking at the moon, it was overexposed. This we should get a really good image here. here in a moment. This is actually my first rig at Starfront. I'll show you the telescope is moving. Let's see if I can show you this image there. There's two Seestars there. It's my neighbor next door. But this is my Seestar. It looks fuzzy right now because it's actually moving. Let's see. So it is going to scan in the western sky for Comet Lemmon here. There we go. There is a Seestar. It's pointing towards the west. So you can see that glow on the right. That is the what's left of the sun setting. It looks very bright. It's not that bright. We can still see stars in this image here, but let's see here. Lower that there. And we've got we should start to see the comet here momentarily, and there it is. Here is Comet Lemmon. This is a first 10-second exposure. It's going to get brighter right now, folks. That is the first 10-second exposure. So what the telescope is doing, it's actually taking multiple 10-second exposures and stacking the 10-second exposures on top of each other, so as to create a more defined end result. So with each 10-second image that it's taking, this image, the stacked image that we are seeing on the screen, will become clearer. And there you can see very clearly now the head of the comet. You can see the stars in the background, and you can see the tail of the comet. It's very, very clear. We have now, let's see, we have 50 seconds there. If I click there, we've got 5 stacked images. One has been ignored. Some of the images that it takes, it rejects because there was a slight movement. There was a star trail, and it'll just reject it and will not include it in the stack. So it will only take the best images and stack them to give us the best result. But this is a live view of the comet. We've got the Seestar at Starfront. This is a live view, and we are going to be going back to the second Seestar, and let's see if we can get that set up to maybe look at the Swan comet. But you could clearly see the tail now. And basically what a comet is, it is a time capsule from the formation of our solar system from billions of years ago. It is literally a block of ice or a frozen ball of dirty ice that has gas, dust, dirt, rocks in it, and is moving at a very high speed in an orbit around the solar system and around the sun. So all comets make an orbit in different planes in different directions, but around the sun. So this comet is now on its way to getting very close to the sun. It's close to us, so we can see it right now in the night sky towards the west. If you have a pair of binoculars, it's near the star Arcturus. You could use Arcturus is a very bright star in the western sky, and you can use that as a point of orientation if you were to get a pair of binoculars and scan the night sky, preferably from a very dark area. I would recommend going to the darkest area you could find here in Miami. That would be the Everglades. Just go out on Tamiami Trail. You go out to either Big Cypress or Kirby Storter, which is a roadside park there. Park your car there in the parking lot, and it's very dark there. You'll brave the mosquitoes right now, but you will get one of the darkest views. Tonight, it's very cloudy. Don't go out tonight. This comet is going to be setting. It's getting lower and lower on the horizon in the west. So each night, tomorrow night it'll be a little bit lower, and the following night will be even lower. Basically, until it fades, it gets so close to the sun. So as soon as the sun sets, the comet will be so close that you will not be able to see it, because all the light from the sun will still be emitting over the horizon, and you will not be able to see the comet. So if we have a clear night here in South Florida or wherever you are, in the next, I would say, week or so, because after this, another 7 days or so, it's going to be harder to see because it will be closer to the horizon. If we have a clear night, look to the west and you might be able to see it. Again, the darker the area that you're observing from, the better your chances of actually seeing this. But this is quite a bright comet. As it's gotten closer to the Earth, it's gotten brighter. So you could see the tail there forming. You could see the stars in the background here. It's just a beautiful thing. It's amazing, even to me. I've been doing this now for a couple of years, that with a telescope we can see things like this in the night sky. This is something that is very special, especially comets. We often look at planets. We look at stars. We look at star clusters. We look at some nebulas like and galaxies like Andromeda. We can see a nebula like Orion, and but it's not often we get to see comets. Even though there are a lot of comets in the night sky, and every year there's about 40 to 50 comets that are discovered around the world by amateur astronomers and the scientific community, we don't always get to see them because they're dim, they're far away, they're close to the sun, they're hard to see. But this one is at a point where it's an optimal viewing it's in an optimal viewing position right now. So you can see as the images are being built, you get more of the tail on there. I'm going to switch over to Texas, and thank you for joining us tonight. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out and helps YouTube find other people that are interested in this type of content, and we'll share it with them. So if you can subscribe and like this video, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you very much. And for more information, you can visit my website, starpicturesmiami.com. We've got information. In fact, I've got a post on there with a lot of information about the comet. In fact, let's go there real quick. Let's go to my website, and we're going to go to Star Pictures Miami, and we're going to go here. And here's the post that I made with some interesting, there's a picture I took last night, actually. Some information about this comet. The official comet name is C2025A6 Lemmon. The Lemmon comes from the fact that it was discovered at the Mount Lemmon survey in Arizona. So this is a place in Arizona where they're scanning the night sky for comets and other things and asteroids and things. So it was discovered by a group there. It was discovered on January 3rd of this year by astronomers using telescopes and sophisticated equipment to scan the skies for comets. And it's a type of comet. It's a non-periodic long period comet, meaning it takes a very long time to orbit the sun. So the next time this comet will be close to Earth, it will be visible by human eyes, will be in 1,150 years. We will all be gone. We won't be around anymore, sadly, but there will be people, hopefully, in over 1,100 years, that will be able to see this comet, the one that we're witnessing tonight, in the year 3,175, ladies and gentlemen. So Maybe our great 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 grandkids will see this spectacle here. So it is something to behold, and it's really interesting. So again, information on my website at Star Miami, and let's go back to the comet. There is the beautiful comet, and we want to look at this thing here. And one thing that's going to happen is you'll see the stars are staying round, and this head of the comet will start to get a little flat. And what's happening is the comet is actually moving. The stars are not moving. So what's happening is the images that are being taken show the slight movements of the comet, and the telescope is fixated on the stars, which don't move. So we're starting to see this. If I let this go for another 20 minutes or so, this part here will become wider. The head, where it was more like a round little ball, will become flatter and wider, and that's because of the multiple images that the Seestar telescope is taking on there. So let's see. I'm gonna try to go to our second Seestar in Big Bend, far west Texas. Let's see what's going on there. Aha! And there is the comet. This is the second Seestar at Big Bend. I want to thank Angel Expeditions. In fact, they're sponsoring tonight's YouTube Live. Had the distinct pleasure of going and visiting my friend Charlie out at his place in West Texas. And Charlie has an amazing, amazing company there called Angel Expeditions. If you go to the Big Bend region of West Texas, you will not believe what is out there. I had no idea that there are canyons, the rivers, Big Bend National Park, which is just mind-blowing, is an absolute gem. I am so glad that I was able to go to that national park with the team at Angel Expeditions. Angel Expeditions, they offer guided tours of the region via kayak, via canoes. They could take you hiking. They could take you on camping trips on the river, on the Rio Grande that divides Mexico and the United States. We were standing in the Rio Grande. I was standing on the Mexico side. I was going over to the United States side, and we were taking a canoe trip down the Rio Grande, down some rapids. It was just amazing. The team at Angel Expeditions knows that every nook and cranny of every canyon over there. So if you're in that area, you want to hire the best guide group out there in the region. That's Angel Expeditions. I want to thank Charlie and BB for really welcoming me and my love of outdoors and everything. It was an amazing experience, and I learned so much, because you can look at YouTube and you can look at Google and learn some things, but when you've got somebody telling you, oh, this is the Dark Canyon, and over here we're going to see these flowers over here, or this species of bird, that's only found in this area, that is very, very powerful. That's local knowledge. They respect nature and they love what they do. And a big shout out to the team over at Angel Expedition. So if you're in West Texas, definitely look them up. Their website is angel with 2 L's expeditions.com. All right, back to the comet here. We're going to switch this comet out. I'm going to put this telescope, since we've got Lemmon on Starfront, I'm going to take this telescope and put it to the Swan comet, Going to stargazing, going over here. I'm going to tell it to go to Swan. Now this is much higher in the sky. This is in the south, right at about 54 degrees. We're going to tell it to go to. Now, let's see here. We've got the telescope. Here is the Seestar moving. I'm going to turn on the actual little infrared light so you can actually see what the telescope is looking like here. If we go here, we turn on the little infrared light, night vision. There we go. That's that little red light, and bam, there's the telescope right there. There's Seestar number 2 in the Big Bend region of West Texas. And very proud of this accomplishment. Again, thanking Angel Expeditions for making this happen. Really, making this available to Star Pictures Miami, and my ability to install and deploy these very affordable, very powerful, smart telescopes. Really in any part of the world is really quite amazing. I was over there, took the telescope, the necessary gear. It's mounted in EQ mode. It's on a Skywatcher EQ mount. We've got my cable method here so it doesn't get all tangled up. And this is the Seestar. It's right now focusing in on the Swan Comet, which will be much dimmer than the Lemmon Comet. So that is the live view of the telescope there. I'm going to turn off the infrared light there. So we just wanted to show you that real quickly. Turn off that light vision there. We got bam, bam. And there's just the silhouette of the telescope. That's the moon there. I call it the floodlight in the night sky. It's at 44% tonight. And we're going to go now and look at the Seestar looking at the Swan Comet. Here's Comet Swan right now. As I mentioned to you, it is considerably dimmer than the Lemmon Comet. That little green patch that you see where I'm putting my mouse, that is the Swan Comet. It's still far from the sun. As it gets closer to the sun, it will become brighter and more visible. Now, as I let the Seestar take multiple 10-second images, it will become more visible. Not as defined and as beautiful and dramatic as the Lemmon Comet that we just saw, but nonetheless very beautiful. The fact that we can see this comet that is at just hundreds of millions of miles away is really something mind-blowing with a $500 telescope. But what helps is having the telescope in a very dark area. That is the reality here. So the darker the area, the better the telescope is going to perform. You could not see this. With a telescope, you could see this. With a pair of binoculars, you might be able to see it if you were out in like a very dark area, like the Big Bend region of West Texas, where you can't see your hand in front of your face when there's no moon. It's literally that dark. You cannot see your hand in front of your face. So that's very powerful. The Seestar is picking this up, and it's giving you this image, which is like a little green smudge of the Swan Comet right now. And that is a live view of the Swan Comet. I'll mark it here with this feature. Oh, it says no image to mark, no object to mark, but that is the area there. If I can actually zoom in a little bit and show you that fuzzy patch there is the comet. And If I were to let this sit for say an hour or so, we would start to see a little bit of the tail, and a little bit longer, but not as dramatic as the Lemmon comet. So this is the Swan comet. Let's go to the website here and look at the information that I've got on the Swan comet on Star Pictures Miami. I've got a post with some information, some very good information. This is a better, slightly better image I took of the Swan comet about a week ago. I let it sit there. It was very bright that night, and that's only a 6-minute exposure, but the official name is Comet C2025 R2 Swan. And the discovery source was discovered by amateur astronomer Vladimir Bazogli. And he actually is credited with finding this comet, a total amateur astronomer. So that is the power that amateur astronomers have. They can scan the night sky, and if they happen to find a comet that has never been identified, they get their name associated with that comet forever, which is having your name live for eternity. So his name will be associated with this comet when it comes back. Let's look at the discovery date was September 11th of all days, 2025. So just recently, a little over a month ago, it was discovered. And let's see, it's passed closest to the sun on September 12th. And let's see, at a distance of about 75 million kilometers, when it will be, its closest approach to Earth will be was October 20th. It already passed. So it's actually on its way out. But it is visible with binoculars, and faintly under dark skies, you could see it naked eye. So it is something that you want to be able to have binoculars, be in a dark area if you really want to see this thing. But it is a thing. And that night, that image there, you could see there's some beautiful stars around it. I forget what star constellation that was in there, but that is the Comet C2025 R2 Swan on there. So we've got that to look at, and we'll go back to the live view of that. There, that is the live view of the Swan comet. As I mentioned earlier on the other comet, the longer I let it sit there, the head of the comet becomes somewhat elongated. I'm going to zoom in, and you can see it almost looks like a line now. And that's because the comet is actually moving. The stars in the background, they're not moving. The comet is moving. So we are getting these exposures, and it's creating like a little trail, if you will, on the image there. So that's Comet Swan right there from our telescope in Big Bend, in the Big Bend region of West Texas. And we've got a second telescope set up there. Actually, should be staying tuned, because we've got some other very, very interesting projects going on with Star Pictures Miami in association with other areas. I will give you a little information about something that is going to be very, very exciting, and this will, I am sure, get the attention of many, many people in the astronomy community. We're going to have a second or third Seestar telescope set up on a different continent. That's all I can say right now. We're going to have a third and fourth Seestar telescope on another continent. Stay tuned. This is, I promise you, you will be impressed when we reveal where this telescope or these telescopes will be located. The Seestar telescope is an amazing product. It facilitates easy installation, quite easy remote access with my system that I developed using the Mac, Apple Mac computers with the M processors. And we are in the process of setting up multiple Seestars around the world. That's all I can say right now. But things are happening quite quickly. So stay tuned for some exciting news. Hopefully in the next month or two, we'll be able to share some more details on that. So we've got Comet Swan here. Let's go back and let's look at Comet Lemmon. Let's go back and take a looky over there. Let's pop over to the other screen. There's Comet Lemmon. Okay. As I mentioned, because of the multiple exposures, you see how the round head of it is now flat, and that's because it's just moving. So we've got this image. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to stop it right here, and I'm going to re-image it. I'm going to reposition it a little bit. Okay. I'm going to move this over just a hair. There, a little bit. Oh, there's a satellite going by there. I'm very gingerly trying to move the telescope view just a smidgen so we can get more of the tail of the comet as I tell it to image. Let me see here. Oh, there's another satellite that went by there. Oh, I didn't like that. Come on, you can do it. Okay, now we've got it in the center there. Okay, I'm going to go with that. It was a little bit further. Oh, let's see. Push it a little bit more. See if we can get it down a little bit further. Okay, there. Oh, okay, much better. Now, I'm telling the Seestar to start re-imaging the target. It's reacquiring the Comet Lemmon. Now we'll be able to see more of the tail and the detail in this beautiful tail. And it's taking multiple exposures here. Here we go. Before it was up more towards the left of the screen. Now I've moved it down towards the right, and we'll be able to see the longer part of the tail. As you can see, it's the first 10-second exposure. We've got a round coma there. It's very round and clear. And you can see the tail starting to extend. It actually is a very, very long tail, but the view of my telescope doesn't allow us to see the whole tail there, because it's actually quite a large comet. And we're starting to see more detail there. But again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And that really helps out a lot. Like the video, share it with your friends. You know, and I also want to give one more quick plug to our friends at Angel Expeditions in the Big Bend region of West Texas for making this possible with the second Seestar in the Big Bend region, which is a internationally recognized dark sky area, one of the largest in the world in West Texas, and very honored to have my second Seestar S50 located near Big Bend National Park. And thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Bibi, for your assistance with that, with this project. It's truly been a very unique experience, having gone out there and being with you all and setting up the telescope and going out to Big Bend National Park and going on the river and going canoeing is just a great 6 days that I experienced out there. You guys are fantastic. So here we go. We've got those lines are Starlink satellites zipping across the view. As in the bottom there, you see that line there? That's a Starlink. Thank you, Elon. I actually love Starlink. It's just unfortunate that we have to deal with these satellites streaking all over the place, but that's just the reality. You know, we want internet in every corner of the earth. Well, this is one of the things we'll have to put up with, and I'm okay with it. It's just sometimes it does streak across my image here. Some nights it looks like there's another one, top left, that just streaked across. So it looks like someone is firing lasers at the comet. And those are actually Starlink satellite trails with so many, I don't know, something like over 4,000 satellites. So up in space, the Starlink constellation of satellites that make internet possible in areas that rural areas of the world that are restricted by geography. Starlink has bought the internet, and this is what we have to put up with. Hey, everybody at Starfront, everybody I know in the astrophotography community, complains about these things, but we can remove these things with our software and edit them out. So yeah, it is kind of a nuisance, but I think it's a pretty good trade-off. The fact that we've got internet wherever we want. And there we have Comet Lemmon in all its glory right there. If you would like an image or to see this image, I will be posting this on Instagram from tonight's capture. And yeah, I'll be doing more of these YouTube lives with different things that are going to be visible in the night sky in the coming months, and the new information that we'll be talking about with other Seestars that are being set up right now as we speak in different locations around the world. We'll be able to bring you access to many, many interesting things that we are not able to see here from our location. And if you have any questions, you can email me, starpicturesmiami@gmail.com. That's starpicturesmiami@gmail.com. We also, I was interviewed just recently in the New York Times about Starfront and my experience with having a smart telescope set out remotely at Starfront. I encourage you to check that out. It's called An Army of Robot Telescopes in the New York Times. Came out about 10 days ago. And you can definitely check that out. What a great story on Starfront, on Bray, on Josh, on Dustin, on Nate. These are the guys that started Starfront and have taken the astronomy and astrophotography community worldwide by storm. They are the largest observatory by number of telescopes in the world today, over 550 telescopes in about 15 months, which is quite astonishing. Very proud of them, very proud to be with them and having placed the first smart telescope, $500 telescope, under $1,000 at Starfront. With their encouragement and support, was able to do that. And today, I'm in the process of deploying Seestars all over the world. And more information will be coming forth. That's all I can say right now, but it's some very interesting developments in the next 30 to 60 days. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. I want to thank everyone who participated tonight in the YouTube Live. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm a proud member of the Southern Cross Astronomical Society, the second largest, or second oldest, I should say, astronomical society in the United States. Started here in South Florida in 1922. Our Winter Star Party will be coming up in February on Scout Key. And I want to, give a shout out to the Winter Star Party. Also, my thoughts and prayers are with the people of Jamaica tonight as they are braving this monster hurricane, Melissa, tonight. Please keep the people of Jamaica in your thoughts and prayers. And let's hope that they can pull through this. It looks like a very, very bad storm. Very rare in, late October to get a hurricane of this magnitude, a Category 5 on that island in the Caribbean. Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you on the next YouTube Live. Thank you all very much. God bless. Good night.